Right, testing means, okay, we talk about in this particular lesson, 3 procedures. One, sample t-test, when he uses a hypothesized value. Independent sample t-test, when he uses comparing two population means. ANOVA, when he uses comparing more than two population means. All right, we start with a one sample t-test. So when I draw a box like that, that means population. Circle is a sample, right? In the population, the mu is mean, mean. I want to know if the mean BMI equals 25, for example. 25, this is tested value. This is your parameter. So I don't know what's the mean BMI in the population, or mean blood pressure in the population, or mean marks of the students, right? The mean, the kilometer, how many kilometers the car travel, right? We don't know. So you want to know this. Is the mean equals to mu naught? Example, is the mean BMI equals to 25? Why choose 25? There must be justification, right? Let's say more than 25 means obese. You're testing whether they're obese, right? So when to use this? To test the population mean equals to hypothesized value. So what do? We take a sample, small n, sample size, calculate x bar, the mean value, which we did last week, calculate standard deviation, right? So hypothesis, mu equals to mu naught versus mu is not mu naught. You write objective, you say to test if the mean population is mu naught. Now look at this equation. Don't go into details of this. Look at the numerator, x bar minus mu naught. If the x bar exactly equals to mu naught, then the t will be 0. Remember the standard normal distribution? The center 0. 0 means what it has exactly same as what you observe. As these two get, the difference get bigger and bigger, right? The difference get bigger and bigger. The t becoming bigger and bigger, big T. Big T means what? That's the difference. We've seen a standard normal distribution. Center 0, plus 1 or minus, plus 1, plus or minus 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation, 3 standard deviations. So you're going to use that particular principle. So big T, so 1, 2, 3. Anything more than 3 is going to be big. And the p-value, so instead of looking at whether big T or small t, I say just concentrate on the p-value. If the p-value less than 0.05, t is big, then you say the mean is not mu naught. We are testing this. The mean is not what it is. T is small. How do you know t is small? The p will be more than 0.05. There is no difference. Remember, objective is to test if the mean equals to hypothesized value. When you do the test, we look at the p-value. Less than 0.05, we say the mu is not mu naught. More than 0.05, we'll say perhaps the mean is mu naught. Assumption. So every test after this, there will be assumptions, right? Assumption. Cases must be independent of each other and data fairly normal. We had done last week what is normal, right? The data is not normal, then we should not use mean. Maybe it's median, right? Different tests altogether. Okay. Example. As we discuss this now, let's say population is the staff of the hospital. What are you interested in, right? BMI. So I want to know the mean BMI is 25. We take a sample and we go into this, and make a decision, right? Okay, look at the example here. The data set 1. So here, I want to know if the mean BMI is 25, test variable, test value. Test variable, BMI. You bring the BMI inside, follow this instruction. Test variable, BMI. What do you want to know? I want to know whether the mean is 25. That's all. And click OK, the result section. Okay. Just now I say p-value, that's the SIG value. So SPS reports like this, we say less than 0.05. Of course, you can say less than 0.001, which of course is less than 0.05. Just now we said, check the p-value, less than or more than 0.05. So this example, the p-value is less than 0.05. We want to know whether mean is 25. Since p-value is less than 0.05, we conclude the mean is not 25. When I say mean is not 25, next question arises, then where is it? Right? Example, let's say Ah Chong is not in the class. Next question is, where is it? Where is he now? So if the p-value less than 0.05, we say mean is not 25. Then where's the mean? What do? Take this 25, add the lower and upper limits. Add the lower upper limits for difference. So when you add this, we'll get this value. Again, like telling a story, what do you want to know? I want to know the mean BMI in the population. Is it 25? So what does it do? One sample t-test, only one group, right? So these are descriptive statistics. The mean is 28.4, standard deviation is 5.2. So what are these values? So we're getting these values, the mean value and the standard deviation, right? At least you know where the sample mean and standard deviation. So 28.4 and 25. How much difference? The difference is 3.4. Is it a big difference or small difference? So the t, there's a t value. So we know anything beyond plus minus 3 out of norm. But it calculates for you the p value. This p value is less than 0.001, of course, less than 0.05. Very conclude mean is not 25. Next question is, where is this? Add this, so this interval. So we are confident 95% the mean is between these two limits. So here in making inference, we have done hypothesis testing a specific value, and also estimating the value in the population. So last time, just p-value alone is enough, especially for biological sciences, medical sciences. Now they want this as well. Again, that's my objective. Gone through all that. Here, right there, sample mean how much? What is the p-value in the test? What does it mean? Compute the confidence interval, obtain this value, and what it means. Finally, a conclusion. Objective is a mean 25. Conclusion, the mean is not 25. We are confident 95% is between 27.4 and 29.4. We can see the 25 does not fall inside the interval. 25 is falling somewhere here. Is the mean 25? No, it's not. It's more than that. We ask another question. Is the mean 35? 35 falls outside again. Then you say, no, the mean is not 35, it's less than 35. Then where is it? From here to here. Is it possible mean is 28? 28 falls inside. Yes, possible. So this kind of universal, right? Anybody can test any value they want. Somebody want to know whether the mean BMI, is it equals to 24? Then he must do all over again. Get the p-value and decide. But looking at this, we know 24 is outside. Definitely it's not. Is the mean BMI let's say 28.5. Look at 28.5. Is inside here? Yes, possible. Is it possible the mean BMI is 32? 30 outside here. That's why this interval is very, very important. We call it universal, meaning it can test any values. Hypothesis testing, only testing a hypothesized value, right? So that's the difference. Next, example number 2. To test the mean SBP is 130, systolic blood pressure. So this is a descriptive. We've gone through last week. And you're testing whether it means 130. Look at the p-value. So this p-value is more than 0.05. Then I say perhaps the mean is 130. You're asking is the mean 130? Perhaps yes. Yes, now you ask whether mean 25, then you say no, right? 25, we say no. Here, is it 130? Don't say yes. Is it 130? We say perhaps yes. Right, look at the interval. Add 130 to this and 130 to this, you'll get this value. Look at 130 now. It's falling inside the interval. Yes, possible. Is it possible 130? It can be anywhere between 125 and 131. 130 is right inside here, right? This is possible. So the conclusion, objective conclusion. The mean SBP, the population, is around 130. Don't say 130, it's about 130. And the confidence interval is between 124 and 131. I want to know this. That's my conclusion. All right, any questions? Any questions? Can you see my slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Okay. Now we're talking about two independent samples. Look at the diagram now. Earlier, one population, one sample. Now you have two populations, population 1 and population 2. Independent because when the person inside the population cannot be inside here. It can be either in population 1 or population 2. Again, it can be like male and female, right? Male and female. So what do you want to know? For example, you could be testing with the mean BMI here. It is same as mean BMI here. What do you do? That's a question. We take one sample from here, one sample from here, sample size N1 and 2, calculate the mean values, calculate the standard deviation values, and look at this formula. The function is x1 bar, x2 bar. Mean difference between the sample mean difference, right? The difference is big, and the p-value will be less than 0.05. So automatically, in the test, if the p-value less than 0.05, we'll say there is a difference. The p-value more than 0.05, we say no difference. So when these two are exactly the same, the t will be 0. As I get further and further away, t become bigger and bigger. So p-value will become smaller and smaller until the point less than 0.05. Now, there's an important assumption here. The variances in the two groups must be similar, right? So what's variance? Square of the standard deviation is a variance. If S1 is 2, say S1 is 3, let's say S1 is 3. So what's variance? 3 power 2, 9. Let's say this is 4. What's the variance? 4 power 2, 16. So that is your variances. The two groups are similar condition known as homogeneity. If not, you have to do a non-parametric test. Okay, let's see how it's done. Look at this path diagram. First, objective is to test if the difference between two groups, right? So what do you do? First, test the variance first. It's called Leibniz test. It can be negative as the green arrow, P is more than 0.05, or red arrow, P less than 0.05. So in this test, if the P is more than 0.05, we say variance are equal. Then do parametric test. If this p-value is less than 0.05, variance not equal, then do non-parametric test. So to decide whether parametric or non-parametric, we do this test first, right? So back to our example. Right. So here, example 1, to test if the mean BMI differ between gender. The variable of interest is BMI, population 1 male, is female. We want to know whether these two are similar. Right. So you follow the instruction. So BMI goes there. Grouping variable, gender, male, female. Define groups. And then group 1, our coding. So my data coding is 1 is male, so 1 is female, 2 is male. With 0, 1, you put the 0 and 1. With my data, the coding is 1 and 2. That's all. Follow instruction and then click OK. The results. Okay, 2 tables. This is my objective. So now gives you the summary for male and female, right? Summary for how many male, how many female, what are the means and deviation for each group. So there are 2 tests done here. Look at this part. This part is equality of variance. This part is equality of means. So 2 tests in 1 table, 1 test for variance, testing the assumption, 1 test for the means, testing the objective. Right. So look at the p-value for variance. P-value is more than 0.05. So variance can be assumed equal. So testing variance, now we're going through this way. The p-value is more than 0.05. So variance are equal. Then continue parametric test. Right? So the p-value more than 0.05. Continue the one. Sorry. Right. P-value is more than 0.05. Variance are equal. So the first row, this is a parametric test. So equal variance assumed. So take this p-value under this test. So this p-value is less than 0.001, obviously less than 0.05. So I conclude the means are different. The means are different. How much difference? That's the last one, no need to add anything. The difference can be anywhere between 6.6 and 9.2. Right? Give my objective, BMI between male and female. That's your mean values, and that's a difference, 7.9. Is it a big difference, small difference? Before going here, we check the variances first. Square this, and checks. P-value more than 0.05, assumption is met. So continue. First row, we come to test of means. Again, the means is based on the t statistics. Look, it's very high. So p-value less than 0.05. We conclude the means differ by how much? The last two columns, anywhere between 6.64 and 9.25. So that's your objective, and that's a conclusion. Right? See how many figures are here. You're supposed to calculate all this manually. How long would have taken? Right? Click button, the whole thing, what you need. A lot of other numbers just to answer this question. Right? Is there difference or not? First test, second test, and then how much difference? Questions?
Professor,
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How did you get your conclusion? Why females are heavier compared to the males?
Say again?
How did you get your conclusion? Why females are heavier compared to the males?
Okay, who's higher, right? Look at female. Female 32, right? Male 24, right? So who's higher? Female higher than males, right?
Yes.
So the first statement is very important. This statement is very important. Right? So female 32, male 24. Without this statement,
Yes.
you only know there's a difference. Who's higher, we wouldn't know. So first one statement to describe this, and then follow with the evidences and how they differ. You okay?
So in test of means, p-value less than 0.5 means different, right? So means are different. So if the p-value bigger than 0.05 means are not different. So which means the females are not heavier than males.
No, we say no difference at all. If we say there's a difference, who's heavier? Right? When you say no difference, you don't ask any question. All right?
Okay. Yes.
Look at second example. Difference in age between males and females. Again, first test, variance, p-value more than 0.05. Assumption is met. Second, mean test, follow the first row, 0.096, which is more than 0.05. Therefore, no difference. Look at the interval from here to here. 0 falls inside the interval. 0 means what? Perhaps no difference. That's my objective. Look at the conclusion. There's no difference. Right? That's now. That's my objective. Evidence shows there's a difference. If they're different, who's higher? Females are heavier compared to males. Here, the evidence shows there's no difference. So you say there's no difference in mean age between males and females. Supposing this p-value is less than 0.05. Supposing this p-value is less than 0.05. And look at this now. Who's older? Male or female?
Male.
Males. When I say the males are older compared to females. In this case, there's no evidence of difference. We just say there's no difference. All right. Questions?
So what the conclusion would be if the variance cannot be assumed equal?
All right, that's next.
Okay.
Now, test difference in TG triglyceride between male and female. So usual test we did, male, female, that are mean values and mean values. Look at the first test. The p-value is less than 0.001, obviously less than 0.05, right? Variances are not similar. So this test is not valid, even though p-value here less than 0.05. Since this p-value is less than 0.05, I cannot follow the first row, right? We can follow second row, provided some other test must be done. In our class, it cannot be used. Parametric test cannot be used. We're going to jump to non-parametric test. Parametric is not valid. Why? Variances not equal. Right? So, in our path diagram, if the p-value less than 0.05, variance not equal, then you go to non-parametric test. Right? Let's say that's our testing. So you're going to we call this non-parametric. Look at this, Mann-Whitney's U test. Non-parametric Mann-Whitney U test. So we follow the instruction. TG goes here. Grouping variable comes here. Similar to just now, except using Mann-Whitney U test. Define groups, everything similar. Look at the output. So this analysis is not based on the means. It's not based on the means. It's based on the ranks. Who ranked higher? Who is ranked higher? Look at this now, mean rank for the female higher compared to male. We arrange all the TG values smallest to highest. Most of the females will be higher side, males will be lower side. Right. So is there a difference? Look at this p-value. So this is from non-parametric Mann-Whitney U test. So p-value less than 0.05, we still say there is a difference. There is a difference. Next, who's higher? Can you explain the difference? You can say the mean rank for the females is higher compared to males. Mean rank for the female higher compared to the males. But instead of using ranks, nobody knows what's ranks here. We rather express in terms of medians. Medians and interquartile range. We discussed this in the last class. Right? Is symmetrical or normal, mean plus or minus standard deviation. It's not symmetrical, then median and interquartile range. How does this get value? Again, explore procedure. PG here by gender. Right? That's all. Click OK to get the median IQR. And for the table, we get these values. Males and females are 3 something and 1.65. Right? So our objective is to test difference in TG between male and female. This test is not valid. So it is a non-parametric test. And I see that females are ranked higher than males. P-value less than 0.05, we conclude there's a difference. No point using this rank, mean ranks. Right? I want to know where is it located. So we're going to use explore procedure to get the median values for the males and the females. My conclusion, there is a difference in TG between males and females. I don't use the word mean here. Right? The TG level, instead of mean TG, I say TG level among the females higher compared to the males, 1.65. Questions? Right? So we're done. 3 examples. One example went this way. Example 1, variance equal. P was less than 0.05. Means differ. Second example went the same way. Difference in age. And the p-value is more than 0.05. We concluded no difference. Third example, Levinstein's p-value was less than 0.05. The variance not equal. We did a non-parametric test. The p-value was less than 0.05. I say scores differ. TG values differ. I didn't say means are different. Because I report medians. Question?